take a deep breath, close your eyes, and follow along with me. I want you to picture your mum's mum, your mother's mother, as a very small child. And I want you to imagine that she was raised by parents who absolutely adored her, who treasured her and loved her, and showed her affection and respect. And she felt safe and loved and secure and supported. And imagine the kind of child she would have grown into if she'd had that kind of start in life. And imagine that child starting school. She's able to concentrate in school because she's got such a secure, loving, supportive home life, which means she does well in school. The other kids love her because she's kind and compassionate, because she's learned that from her parents, and she's fun. The teachers are impressed with her, her parents are proud of her. Now imagine the kind of teenager she would have grown into if she'd had that kind of background. And now imagine the kind of woman she would have become, the kind of success she would have enjoyed in life with that kind of background. And now imagine the kind of mother she would have been to your mother. Now picture your grandfather, your mother's father, and imagine him as a little boy, a very small child. And his parents were excited when he was born. He was treasured and loved and respected. They listened to him when he spoke. They showed him affection. They guided him with kindness and compassion. And imagine the kind of child he would have grown into. And when he started school, he was able to concentrate in school because he had such a calm, happy, loving, supportive home life. So he did well in school. He had lots of friends because he was fun and kind and compassionate. Imagine how much confidence that would have given him, how much self-worth, and imagine the kind of teenager he would have grown into if he'd had that kind of supportive background. And now imagine the kind of man he would have grown into, the kind of success he would have experienced with that kind of background, and how emotionally intelligent he would have been. Now imagine that man and that woman meeting, and imagine the kind of relationship they would have had. They would have been able to give each other the love, affection, support, and respect that they were given as children. And they would have been able to give that to their daughter, your mum. So imagine your mother growing up with two people like that. The support, the love, the respect, the affection, the guidance, kindness and compassion. Imagine her as a little girl being treated like that. Imagine the kind of child she would have been going to school. Imagine the kind of teenager she would have grown up into with that kind of background. And imagine the kind of woman she would have become with that supportive, loving background. And now imagine the kind of mother she would have been to you. She would have automatically treated you the way she was treated as a child and given you the same love, affection, support, attention, respect, and guidance that she was given. Now let's go to your dad. Imagine your dad's mother as a little girl. And imagine she was born to parents who loved her, treasured her, and valued her. They listened to her when she spoke. They showed her affection. She felt loved and secure and safe. Imagine that little girl starting school. Imagine the kind of teenager she would have grown into, the kind of woman she would have become with that kind of love and support. And imagine the kind of mother she would have been to your dad. And now imagine your dad's father as a little boy, and he was treated with love and respect. Imagine if he'd been treated with the kind of love, respect, affection, and value that all children should be treated with. And imagine him starting school. He's able to concentrate in school because he's so loved and supported at home, and he feels safe. And he gets on well with the other children because he's fun and kind and compassionate. And if the teachers are impressed with him, his parents are proud of him. Imagine the kind of self-esteem and self-worth he would have as he grows into a teenager. And now imagine the kind of man he would have become with that kind of background as a foundation. And imagine the kind of father he would have been for your mum, for your dad. And now imagine those two people meeting. And they treat each other the same way they were treated as children, with love and affection and respect, supporting each other. And imagine the kind of parents they would have been to your dad. Now imagine your dad as a little boy, a very small child, with those two people raising him with kindness, compassion, love, affection, respect. And imagine him starting school with that kind of background, that kind of support at home. And imagine what his life would have been like with that kind of love and support, and the kind of teenager he would have grown into with that background. And imagine the kind of man he would have become with that kind of support and love behind him. The success he would have had, emotionally intelligent because he's been guided in that way by his parents. He's had great examples. And now imagine he and your mum meeting and the relationship they would have had if they'd each had that kind of background. Imagine the closeness, the love, the affection, the respect, the support that they would have been able to show each other because they were given that as children themselves. And then imagine the kind of parents they would have been for you. They would have treated you the same way they were treated as children, with love, respect, kindness, compassion, patience, and support. And now imagine the kind of childhood you would have had with those parents. Two people who were able to be their authentic selves without the programs and coping skills and survival skills that they had to develop in the childhoods they did have. And practice these new childhoods of your grandparents and your parents, or at least your parents anyway. Practice the new childhoods of your parents, and then practice your own new childhood as much as you can. The more you practice it, the better your results will be.